right, here we go. Welcome in to another edition of the Fantasy Addicts Fantasy Football Podcast. We are streaming live on Twitch.
We'll do it live.
Oh, yeah.
During the Monday Night Football.
A couple of technical difficulties.
Yeah, no problem.
Tonight, but that's all right.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it.
Nah.
All right, so I'm your host, Mike the Fantasy Addict, with co-host Nikki B.
That's me.
Happy to have you here. And
as always.
A lot to unpack this week. We had a wild week of football.
Man, oh man.
I honestly thought this was one of the more fun weeks of football.
Okay. Is it because you're winning in
we had some big
of
days.
your matchups?
Again, it looks like, so I've pretty much locked up 3 out of 5. I've got one where I need Tyler Lockett to just get me a handful of points. I need Tyler Lockett and TJ Watt in an IDP league to combine to beat out Bobby Wagner, stud linebacker for the Seahawks, plus like 6 points. So I'm
plus
down
like
6.
All right.
I'm down 6. He's got Bobby.
That's fair.
I got Watt and Lockett. So I like my odds. The app's favoring me.
I need like 40 or 35 from DK and Russ combined in PPR.
Well, here's the thing.
We'll see.
I need DK and Russ to both do poorly.
Okay, that's fair.
So we can root against each other. But the other thing is, so far, it's been a DK kind of night. I think he's got already 4 or 5 receptions. Getting a little chippy with the defense there. He's got Slay, the cornerback for the Eagles, covering him, who is actually a very good corner who's played well this year. But, man, DK's a handful. Just out there with his pacifier in. And Giant Baby knocking people over.
I have a little wager on Tyler Lockett to, 1, catch the first touchdown of the game, and 2, not get more than 5 catches. So we'll see how that goes.
I'll take a Lockett touchdown. So.
Yeah. Hopefully he gets his points on few catches.
They're in position. The Seahawks are in the red zone, and a Lockett reception. That'd be great for everybody.
They're going for it on 4th, too.
All right.
But this isn't, we're talking
they're going to send it. There you go.
Okay,
I got a new drop for you.
You guys silly? I'm still going to send it.
And it gets blown up in the backfield.
Good.
The penetration was too much for more. He couldn't handle it.
Yeah, that was a fail. Yo, what's going on, guys? How you doing? It's Uzi Vert. Welcome back. You got any players in this game tonight? Anybody you need some points from?
So how we're doing? We're doing pretty well. Still
hanging.
Just lamenting the Bears' just pathetic performance against the Packers.
Metrock,
got hammered.
In. Hey, what's going on? It's Uzi Vert. Made a last-second call, left Deontay in for Rager.
Yeah, I think that's the move.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, if Deontay plays, that's the obvious caveat. But if he plays, I'm playing Deontay over Rager.
Like I said, we mentioned yesterday in our league format, we decided if the game doesn't get played, you can request a backup. So we had a backup player in case the game that's now moved to Wednesday doesn't get
So I did mention I need TJ Watt to get some points. If he doesn't play in that game, if for some reason it gets canceled last second, my backup that I designated, Logan Thomas, got 11 points. So pretty happy with that.
You'd be okay with that.
I at least know that if that game doesn't go, that I've got some points there. So I almost, it's possible that Watt does not outperform that number in a game.
Yeah. Zuzi, I'm up 26 going against Metcalf and the Steelers defense.
Nick's got me, so I'm rooting against Metcalf. I just need him. He can have an okay game for Nick, but I just need him to not have like 40 points.
Yeah, I don't even have 40 points. I need him and Russ to combine for like 20 apiece or 15 apiece, or not even a whole lot.
Metcalf is dangerous. He's going to be going high next year's draft.
Dub Ruger, what's up, guys? New setup. Been a few weeks. Going through some things.
Welcome back, Dub. Happy to have you.
Hopefully, this will be a little escape if they're
Club Dub. Not happening for the Bears, but at least we got Dub.
Definitely not happening. Metrock, you guys doing the Steelers game? I don't think so.
We're not planning on it. Who knows when that game will be or if it gets played when they play it. 6 weeks from now, maybe we'll get together and decide to broadcast during it. But actually, I've got. Our work went virtual recently, so that gives me a little bit more where possibly we could kind of jump in on some of those different times of the week.
The Discord was popping off, though. Last night.
Yeah.
It's just meme central in there, essentially. Memes and GIFs everywhere.
Other people trying to have meaningful conversations while I just spam different GIFs and memes.
Anybody else happy Eckler's back? I think
so happy he's back.
11 catches.
It was perfect. So again, I had traded away Juju. I was waiting on Eckler. I got no running backs. I've been dying for running backs. And he shows up, puts on his cape.
A great success.
Oh, that's so good. Thank you, Eckler, for being back, for being good, not re-aggravating. So,
right.
He's going to save you. He can save you.
For sure. Marcio, Discord was fire last night. Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
We were. It was getting wild for sure.
We're giving it everything we got.
Banjo, welcome in. Need Metcalf, Carson, Goddard to outscore Russ by 15. Seems possible. I agree.
It's a bunch of guys.
Yeah. I think Goddard is definitely the wild card in that scenario, but we'll see. Are you going to do the playoffs? We haven't really set a playoff schedule yet. We also have a question here is, are we going to do the Monday night triple header here in a week or two?
Oh, I think we're going to at least
have to,
at
right?
least one. Yeah, we're going to continue to do our normal Monday thing. We could expand it a little bit.
We might have to cover some games that day.
Yeah, my wife just keeps getting angrier and angrier the more shows I decide to do. But I tell her we got to give it to the people. The people
That's
are
right.
asking.
They want
it. They need it.
We just need the attendance. That's fine. We're working on it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. As things get going here, it's starting to become real. There are championships to be won.
For
I'm
sure.
trying to retain the championship belt in
Absolutely.
the family league. Things are going a little shaky, but Will Fuller, recently suspended Will Fuller, got me a ton of points and won me the week this week probably.
Marcio says, I'm your wife.
Oh, no.
now. Just claim stream wife. Already got it set up. There you go. Do you know who doesn't need to
That's
get
how
any
I
bigger?
got married the first time.
Is it
I
really?
am your wife now.
Okay, here we are.
Yep.
The person who doesn't need to get any bigger is Tyreek Hill with his 269 yards receiving.
Yeah, just under 300 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Insane.
Yeah,
269, 3 touchdowns, 2 for 40 plus
That's
yards.
a good day.
That's pretty
13 catches. Holy moly. They really did my boy Fuller dirty.
So, how much do we believe that Fuller just wasn't just pumping steroids to stay healthy? That he actually was unaware of what was going on? That's what they always say.
Right. But
to his credit, he's been healthy. Whatever he was taking was helping. But
again, if it's the difference between not being in the league and being in the league, it's worth the risk.
yeah, I get it, man. That hurts the Texans a lot. I was just listening to the fantasy footballers, like in the car on the way here to their today's episode, and they were just saying, like, this is before the Fuller news has come out. You can't lose Fuller. Fuller is so important to that team. They really need him, and it's just like, oh,
here we go.
The Reaper just
Bambo, get out of here, Bambo.
Edelman just doesn't want to be a part of this team this year. All his friends are gone. It's no fun. He's watching the Bucks, who again they're not having the best time over there.
Should we briefly talk about last night's mess?
The Bears the Packers won. The Bears lost. We tried. I hoped. I wanted it. I was like, maybe Mitch will be back. Maybe he'll be good. And tried to be positive. Bears Nation as a whole was just like, it could be good. And no,
it's exactly what we thought it was
going to be.
Yeah.
I think I got something for this. Let me see here.
Zuzi put up a monster game and gets kicked out essentially.
Who we thought they were.
The Bears are who we thought they were. They, that's tough. So Green Bay should run away with the division and then lose in the playoffs.
Okay, I think I want to trade Watson for Eckler and pick up TB12 from free agency.
Deshaun has a tough matchup coming up. He's got it's Indy, Chicago, Indy.
I mean, I would rather
just lost Fuller. If you could get that deal done, I think Eckler.
Would you rather have Eckler and Tom Brady or Watson? And who would you have to start instead of?
Depending on my running back situation, I would likely make that call. I think that Eckler, if he can get that volume, he had 16 targets in that game, which is an absurd amount.
What if his next running back is Kenyon Drake?
Kenyon is coming on a little
bit,
bit, but
Kenyon Drake and Watson or Eckler and Tom Brady.
I think I want the Eckler. Eckler, man, that whole just ton of work.
Marcio Edelman to QB the Broncos. That Broncos game was brutal.
Yeah.
I forgot I had Noah Fant in my lineup, and he was the only person to catch a pass in the game.
Congratulations.
So
you did it. You did it.
Nailed that one.
Great success.
You guys think Cooks will be number one for fantasy? I don't think,
So that's a great question. I have Cooks in fantasy, and that was my thought was, okay, Fuller's out. Maybe Cooks gets a little more volume. Maybe he's the clear-cut number one on that team. They just got rid of Kenny Stills. Kiki Kute he's a rookie who's been there who's not great. He actually had some targets in that game that just went past his fingertips.
Right.
They got Cobb there. So Cobb might be actually a sneaky, if he's out there.
So I've been perusing the Dynasty interwebs.
Yeah,
and
what do you think?
Isaiah Cutler, or Kutler, or I don't know how you pronounce his last name.
There's only one Cutler for me, and it's Smoking Jay.
There's some hype around him as well. He's
on the Texans, huh?
Correct. He was injured for the first, I think, 4 weeks, and then he's been a healthy scratch the last few. Just a rookie that they picked up in, I think, free agency. I don't know if they actually they did. They drafted him in the 7th round, I believe. But maybe somebody to take a look at.
Maybe.
Banjo's got him on their taxi squad. There you go.
All right.
See? I'm not crazy.
Taxi squads. We should get one.
Yeah. I'm a Kenny and Drake owner, so I'm pretty pumped. Do you guys think he's turned it around?
You like to
I'm
see
still
some
not
life
trusting
from him.
him.
He should have had 3 touchdowns, only got 2. Man,
With the running back options right now, I don't think we get to be picky.
it was worth noting that Kyler looks like he's still kind of nursing a shoulder injury, so he ran the ball less. Maybe
Right.
that opened up a little bit more running opportunity for Kenyon. So if he kind of heals up another week, if he starts running the ball more, but I don't know, man. It's a crapshoot. Kenyon Drake hasn't looked explosive, but he got it done this week. And
Bambo brings up a good point. They just let Kenny Stills go, or mutually parted ways with Kenny Stills. So that's interesting.
Nobody
as well.
likes Kenny Stills.
No, not a fan.
I had him on my dynasty
fan.
for a while, and I don't know. He's still a fairly young guy, and he's shown some flashes of being okay.
He's not, though. He's like
but
28 or 29.
Had they known that Will Fuller was going to get suspended, I doubt they would have made that move.
Kenny
but
Stills only finished in the top 31 times in his career.
Hindsight being 2020, would have done it differently.
Not into it. All right, so more studs from the week, though. Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry was very good.
178 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns.
I actually played against a team. I think I've just rattled off like 9 wins in a row, and I finally went down to the Henry and Hill on the same team.
Okay.
I just had a little
Just
had
couldn't
a gif
overcome.
of a guy with his head down waving the white flag. Sometimes you get beat.
Oh, no.
Sometimes you run into a buzzsaw. At least it wasn't the playoffs.
Right. I had him on my bench this week. Who'd you have on your bench this week? Hopefully not Derrick Henry. The aforementioned Will Fuller had a crazy Thanksgiving with 6 for 171 and 2 touchdowns. It looks like I might actually survive a Tyreek Hill sighting and a Will Fuller sighting. And I survived 2 Keenan Allens last week as well. So
Keenan's been good. He only had 10 targets this week, so don't panic. Got the touchdown, saved the day.
Antonio Gibson with a really good Thanksgiving as well. 115 rushing, 3 touchdowns, 5 catches for 20 yards as well.
Yeah, he is definitely coming on right when you need him. So if you believed in him, if you held on to him, it might pay off at the end of the year here.
Packers signed Talon Austin, another gadget weapon for Aaron. I don't think it's going to happen. Lazard, some life from Lazard last night, though.
Yeah, Lazard was out there. Everybody got a catch against the Bears.
Right.
The defense is the first game where I think I started to see the defense just kind of be like, we've had enough.
I got a couple people in the chat worried about Hunt. Can you talk him off the ledge?
So Kareem Hunt, he's still a talented running back. He's been decent with Chubb in a number of games. They finally actually got to pass the ball a little bit. Jarvis Landry having today. I've been waiting. Played Jarvis in Dynasty, so I am a genius. Yeah, man.
You had no other options.
If you got a better option than Hunt, go nuts. But Kareem, he's got a good chance to get you. He can get in the end zone. He's kind of been the second half of the game guy. It all comes down to just options. Like
the aforementioned Jarvis again, 8 for 143 and a touchdown. So kind of a resurrection of the season because he's not had a great season so far.
I liked that.
Yeah, first spot start pretty good.
OBJ went out. The last couple of games have been weather.
Are you buying in though?
I think that Jarvis is a guy that should be on a bench. Again, he's probably not a guy you're going to start at wide receiver, but if your wide receiver goes down or something, you lose Will Fuller and you're in a bind, maybe you can throw Jarvis.
So we're at week 13. I mean, coming up on, so this is make or break it week for a lot of people trying to get into the playoffs. Are you rolling out Landry?
Again, it would be,
I don't know.
In the event that somebody goes down on my team, he's a guy that I'm just as a depth piece want on
Let's
my
say
team.
DJ Shark is healthy.
I think that you can go with Shark. Glennon was okay. He actually did decent as far as fantasy points. Oh, trash. Speaking of trash, Michael Thomas. Nick tried to tell you at the beginning of the year, don't draft Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas is bad.
I tried.
I thought it was
an
inflammatory statement, and it turned out to be correct. That's a lot because of Taysom Hill. Taysom not throwing the ball, not just chucking the rock, but had good points because he ran the ball and he got into the end zone. So,
another player I don't understand, James Robinson.
James Robinson's just good at football, man. He's just
touchdown, 5 catches.
I heard a stat that he had close to 200 carries for the team, and all the other running backs on the team combined rushing attempts 7. He's the only guy on that team that's allowed to run the ball.
This was a trade for Mike Evans, and his playoff schedule is awesome.
Mike Evans is good. The real problem with that team is just you don't know who's. There's a lot of mouths to feed.
I sat him and Gronk this week.
Yeah, Gronk had a decent,
correct week.
decent couple of catches and
a touchdown, I think.
Yeah, Gronk's had a better.
Yards.
I will admit that Gronk has had a better season for fantasy and real NFL than I expected him to have.
So if he signs again for next year, are you?
I'm not drafting him highly.
No, but I think you can get him late.
You can take him at the end of your draft as to be probably your tight end that you can use.
I would agree.
But yeah, Gronk's been good.
Nick Chubb. Hunt not having a great game, but Chubb 144 rushing, touchdown, 3 catches.
I think there's just going to be games where maybe Chubb takes it. I don't know that there'll be a game where Hunt just gets all the work and Chubb gets backseated.
Correct.
I agree. I think it can happen to Kareem, but they like to use both of them. They've shown multiple games that that's kind of what they want to do is have that 1-2 punch.
Nick Chubb just has a knack of getting long.
He's got a good burst
for sure. Just a really good runner for sure. But you need Hunt for the receptions, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, he hasn't been a reception monster.
Chubb still had 3 catches, so at least he's getting some reception work. Unlike Antonio Gibson, who gets 0.
All right,
Deebo Samuel.
Deebo having a career day, coming off an injury
for 133.
So if you stash him in your IR or something like that, congratulations. I don't know if you can trust him every week. That was a weird game against the Rams.
For sure.
I was surprised. I would not have guessed that the 49ers would pull that out. I think they said they have more guys on the IR than any other team or something along the lines of more guys on the IR than their whole, I forget what they compared it to. But
I think they have more money on IR than any other team by triple.
Yeah.
Imagine the Steelers and Ravens game never happening. I don't think it is getting played on Wednesday. I just don't know how it will.
It's happening.
The show goes on.
We'll see. Latavius Murray. What happened?
Latavius, he just had a good game. He had a big run. He had a couple touchdowns, pair of touchdowns.
Yeah, 124 rushing, 2 touchdowns, a catch. Good game.
He's giving you everything he's got.
Some people might have started him with how bad.
The real,
with how many running backs went out.
Not to bury the lead. The real thing is Alvin Kamara not getting points. If you are the Kamara owner right now, Taysom Hill coming in, you're praying for just a rib transplant.
Right.
Praying that 17 ribs come in and that you can get Breeze back because it is not a good situation for Kamara.
Zuzi Vert, Lamar's going to be back too. I don't think so. I don't think Lamar's going to be able to come back. But
I don't know if he's getting back for this one. He did test positive.
Correct. And we mentioned this. We were talking about this before we started streaming, but we have an interesting situation just in my matchup for Dynasty. I had the Kalen Balaj go out, Swift go out, JT go out. So I was looking for anybody. So I'm starting Justice Hill from the Ravens, and my opponent, who needs 20 points to catch up to me, is starting Gus Edwards. And now it sounds like J.K. Dobbins and Ingram will be available. So
This is my nightmare.
At least it hurts you both. So in this one particular instance, it's interesting.
It's kind of negated, but there will be leagues where it's not.
So, it's a tough situation for fantasy football. I think you just got to power through and say, sorry, because again, it's not anybody in the league's fault. It's not like your commissioner did something goofy. And it just creates sucks. It is what
tough
it is.
Scenarios for
I think we all knew
commissioners.
That things like this could happen. It's been actually kind of miraculous that it hasn't happened more often. We're this far into the season, and it's the first time that it's really kind of been sideways.
Yeah.
From 53 right now to win
from DK and Miles Sanders. That's a tall order.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah, that's a tall order for sure.
You're in a 3 PPR kind of league or something. Maybe you got a chance, but
AJ Brown with the garbage time touchdown. So
it was
he ended up having a 42-yard
kick return that he scored the touchdown on.
So I don't think he got full yardage for that if you're an owner, but you did get the full yardage for the 98 receiving yards and 4 catches and another touchdown.
I was concerned about the matchup against the Colts. I had him on a bench.
Oh, I made a mistake.
Yeah, everything was fine.
But again, if Lockett can get a couple receptions, I might be able to just kind of gloss over that mistake.
3 PPR? What? Maybe for Bambo. That's what he needs.
Never heard of it?
No.
It's a new sensation that's sweeping the fantasy nation.
Amari Cooper.
Another guy.
6 for 112 and a touchdown.
Had on a bench.
Oh, I made a mistake.
More mistakes this week than I have again, there are certain weeks.
Didn't you say you were going to be manager of the week in one league?
Dynasty, I made all the right calls. Everybody performed. Everybody had at least 10 points. But again, there were a lot of guys where I just was concerned, maybe over concerned about the matchup. So Amari Cooper was going against a tough matchup in Washington. The Cowboys are hard to trust. again, so I played Zeke, terrible mistake. Sat Amari, terrible mistake. Sat A.J. Brown, bad job. I really believed in Michael Pittman Jr., came up with like 5 points.
You started Michael Pittman Jr. over A.J. Brown.
I did. I thought he'd get the touchdown. I believed, and
I think that's on you.
like Nicarus, I flew too close to the sun. My wax wings melted, and I plummeted to the earth.
David Montgomery.
David Montgomery. All right, a guy I made the right call on. So
103 yards rushing, 5 catches, 40 yards.
I was staring at David, and I was like, oh, man, do I play David Montgomery?
Just don't know how.
He's got a great matchup against the Packers. They're going to have to run if they want to have a chance, and I made one right call. I was staring at him. I almost took him out, and I was like, all right, my thought process was, now or never. I got him on the team. I'm going to play him now. If I'm not going to play him today, I'm never going to play him. I'm going to throw it in. Worked out for me.
For Kenyon Drake, week 1 of the playoffs is versus the Giants. Pretty solid.
Yeah. No, I think so. Yeah. Another guy that we were just talking about, David Montgomery, has a good set of matchups coming up also, which I've been staring at all season. Like, can they just get something figured out?
Right.
I think Mitch being back helps because he can pick up a couple first downs with his legs. Mitch didn't look good.
Kenyon Drake, David Montgomery, Ronald Jones, rest of the season.
Ronald Jones is another guy that I've got him in Dynasty. I was concerned about him in other places, so I passed on him. But I've been so excited to just see Ronald Jones finally get going. He had a big play. He caught kind of a little, dump off pass, took it down the sideline, tiptoed, showed good agility, shows good speed, he runs hard. Of all those guys, though, I don't want to speak it into existence. Ronald Jones will fumble on the third play of the next game and get sat down.
For the rest.
It just keeps happening. It's like, Rojo, it's happening. Right. The breakout, it's going to be like Bruce Arians said that he needs to get 20 carries a game. No chance. No chance in the world. Like 20 touches, not carries, but no, I would be shocked if he gets 20.
Yeah, 20 touches. They traded Rojo before the deadline. That wouldn't hurt. Yeah, I think you can live with one or two. Okay.
So I had some offers right before the deadline in Dynasty for Rojo, but I saw a couple bursts, and I just, he looked good when I watched him. I believed in him. I've kept him. I'm just going to hold him because also next year, let's say Leonard Fournette, who is on a 1-year contract, if Leonard Fournette is gone, I think they're starting to believe Leonard's not that good. But
and what's the other running back that they drafted?
Keyshawn Vaughn. And Keyshawn Vaughn has disappeared. They just haven't given him a lot of opportunity. Bruce Arians hates rookies, so maybe Keyshawn Vaughn is a guy that you could try and make a play for. He might get more time, get more touches, get worked in, develop, but.
Rojo and DJ Moore for Mike Evans.
So Mike Evans, at least you got Mike Evans. Mike Evans has had some pretty good moments. It's just if one of those guys in that offense, one of the receivers goes
still
down,
on pace for 16 touchdowns or
Godwin's had injuries. He's got pretty good chemistry with Tom Brady. I don't hate it. It depends on if you need a wide receiver. DJ Moore, you feel good. Not that he got injured, but you feel good after that trade now that you didn't have him as he got injured. So it turned out it was an ankle injury. We were arguing about what it looked like when we saw it live, but it landed awkwardly. We'll see how long he's out. Another injury that happened. Are you ready to talk about the dumpster fire that if you are a Bears fan, you can take solace in the fact that you're not a Raiders fan because the Raiders... I made another mistake. I started Derek Carr in a league.
Oh. I made a mistake.
And it
not so good.
Not
so good.
The Falcons just obliterated the Raiders.
Ethan, I've decided this is not Carson Wentz's fault. His line is terrible.
Yeah,
I blame you for the bet you made us put on this game tonight. He made us bet Russell Wilson and Wentz to each throw for 2 touchdowns. We're going to need a lot of garbage time.
I'm not betting on Wentz to do anything good.
That's what I was saying, but
he is a garbage master.
I got suckered in. Yeah, we need a lot.
Carson Wentz, last year, all their games, a lot of garbage time. Nothing happened, and then garbage time came.
I love trash.
Carson
the game was
trash.
amazing, and I don't hate the Raiders.
Well, I'm waiting for him to get sat down for Hurts tonight. I had Hurts on a team. I held him for a while.
Well, that's what we were debating. Is as long as Hurts doesn't come in after halftime, we'll see.
So I ended up getting rid of him. Another team that was kind of rebuilding picked him up. I think it was a good pickup. I'd like to see just if he can become anything, but I don't know, man. Anytime you can get a piece that was at Alabama, it seems to work out for the NFL. What are their...
Except the receivers. That's kind of like the lone...
They've had a couple guys, but...
Calvin Ridley. He was good.
Calvin?
Yeah.
Calvin has been very good.
Yes. Allen Robinson is also good. 8 for 74 and 2 touchdowns from the Biscuit Man.
So, yeah, Allen Robinson, one of the few kind of bright spots. Mitch wasn't good, but he did pass out a couple biscuits.
Big Mama's handing out biscuits, baby.
Hopefully
Allen
we
Robinson.
can retire that.
No,
at the end
no,
of the
it's
season.
back, man. Mitch is back. The drop is back.
No.
As long as Mitch Trubisky lives as a backup in
Say
the
it ain't
NFL,
so.
every time the camera pans to him when he's backing up a guy
No.
next year, it's going to be the biscuit drop.
Julio Jones, Roll Tide.
Julio, see, you know,
I know there's
the
some.
Falcons like
I know there's
the
some.
Falcons sweep up the good
They have
Bama
they have a
receiver.
tendency to have disappointing receivers. I think and running backs too. Derrick Henry is a lone bright spot there too.
You know, I don't follow enough to know them all off the top of my head, but
Yeah.
defense, they got a lot of good defensive players, a lot of
Defense
linemen.
for sure. Justin Jefferson, 7 for 70 and 2 touchdowns.
I'm gonna hit this one. It's not for me, it's for Nick.
Oh, I like that.
No
Your guy,
faults.
man.
No
Your
faults.
dynasty pickup. So you made a good call. He is, I think, leading rookie wide receivers as far as touchdowns and yardage.
I think both. Not touchdowns. I think Claypool has touchdowns, but
that right?
yardage
Yeah, that one
and
game.
catches, I believe.
Very nice.
He also is leading the league in yards per route run by like
That is
0.4.
also the stat that I heard, and that's one of the good predictors of being fantasy relevant. So, yeah.
LSU has the nice receivers in the NFL, I think. And then apparently the receiver that Jefferson played with last year, who's playing in the NFL in college football this year, is Chase. And so he's supposed to be better than Jefferson is. So
We have a suggestion for a moving on up drop for Jefferson. Moving on up, moving on.
I'll put Mike hot on the case for that one.
Again, the one that I added was, here, let's see. This is the one I added today.
You guys silly? I'm still gonna send it.
And then also recently added because of this week and the NFL just powering through.
The show goes on.
So those are my newest ones.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with the next really week or two. Of course, it's like
Just keep going.
Of course, it's right when the fancy playoffs are about to begin.
Yep.
Rip Darius Geis. Yeah.
No,
Man.
guys, sorry about that, guys. It's his own fault.
Where's my yes?
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Can't get.
So I tried to get, so there are a number of drops that I've actually tried to create, and what I have to do is find like clean audio to make them that I can chop and build into a drop. The Yas Queen one, I found one from Broad City where it's like the young kid and he's just in the hall, Yas Queen, Yas Queen, Yas Queen.
And that's it?
But I couldn't find like a good Queer Eye Guys one. So I got to look back at that. I tried to make one.
Just make your own.
I could record
your
them,
own
I
audio.
guess.
Yeah,
I don't
we'll
know. I
just
got to
record
use
it.
your recording studio stuff.
It's fine. It's here.
We can do it. I just said, Yas Queen.
That's how I was feeling when Devontae Parker caught 8 for 119
Oh, you want the emote?
from Fitzmagic.
Nick has shared with me the limited amount of emotes that Twitch allows, and I was shocked at the
Yeah.
stinginess.
The only ones I can add now. What is blowing
I
up?
don't know what that was.
Was that you?
Boom! It's probably something that Pocket sent us in the mail. Yeah,
Oh man! Hopefully everybody didn't get that loud beeping as well.
I'm sure they did.
But anyway, Fitzmagic back. Devontae Parker, 14 targets. No Preston Williams. Gesicki had an okay day as well, I think. Wanyako gets more than Waller and Jacobs combined. Yeah.
yeah. No, if you started
What
the
is
Raiders,
that? I don't know, Marcio. I don't know.
again, that's the just the dad bod alert. But
Is it?
yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, here it is.
Kenyon Drake, 78 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, 3 catches.
Yep, Kenan was good.
Austin Eckler, 16 targets. 16 targets.
Oh yeah.
Super good.
So they rushed it with him 14 times and then 16
And I
targets.
got
So
him in a PPR.
30 plays went to Austin Eckler.
Oh, I think we had somebody. Tell me who was the number one kicker on the week? Let's see here.
I have to look it up.
Look it
Let's
up.
see here. It is Young Ho Koo.
Man, I wish I had picked him up. I ended up starting Blankenship in one. He had one nice kick at the start of the game, and then nothing else. It was a bad game script for kickers.
Anti-anti, that's what I'm saying. Kicker, isn't that a soccer position? We banned him from our dynasty league. We got rid of him.
It was a good move.
We don't want him.
No, thank you.
Young Ho is my boy.
However, in our dynasty, I definitely would have had Blankenship, respects to specs.
You would've
Rodrigo
drafted him?
Blankenship. I would have grabbed him because I just was the only guy that had heard of him. If you go back to our old shows on YouTube, you can hear, you heard it here first. Rodrigo.
Not interested.
Yeah, even though he's in a rough matchup now and he's hurting at the end of the year.
Besides
but
that,
he was great at the start of the year.
I got the Finns kicker, Sanders. Yeah, he was.
I had the Dolphins kicker. He did well
last week. All right, so Austin Eckler, big day. Evan Ingram, blast from the past.
I've been believing in Ingram. He's got good targets.
6 for 129. Daniel Jones, though.
Daniel Jones goes down with a hammy.
Jalen Hurts is on the field for the Eagles. I just got a report. So, Ethan, you can suck it. Anyway.
Tried to tell you.
I tried to tell him. What was that? Collins Johnson, 4 for 96 and a touchdown. Receiver for Jacksonville.
Yeah.
DJ Shark
I think he was a rookie, so
Yep.
a name to put into the memory banks there.
Gronk, 6 for 106. And Robbie Anderson. It was looking rough there for a while, but then he caught a long touchdown. A couple more to finish it off for 4 for 94 and a touchdown. So another good week for Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, I know. Finally got back into the end zone. He hadn't scored since week 1. I was starting to get a little bit worried about Robbie. He was another guy. Made the wrong call. I had him on one bench, but I had him in another league.
Right.
Kind of hedged my bet a little bit. So, yeah, Robbie.
I like it a lot.
Good to see you back. Keep it up.
Let's see here. Dubberger's Jalen Hurts season. Oh, I hope not. That'll go poorly. Should make a spoof fantasy league. Punters reward the team with a sandwich for a punt. Field goals are worth a mean. What?
Who is this? I don't. What? You just sit up at night thinking about these things?
I like it. I like the creativity. Can't do any worse than Carson. Yikes. Carson. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm reserving judgment.
I don't know, man. Carson's been good in the past. He's just, again, the Eagles' whole team has been just a mess this year.
First time I've played Robbie all season. What? You've missed all the other games for Robbie? Wenzel has his helmet on. I think they're just giving him this series
that
probably.
Sounded like what they were going to try and do is just work Jalen in a couple series just to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Again, if he blows it here, it could be Carson
And
right
Carson's
back.
back in. That's what I just read in chat.
Well, there you go. I just want him to throw one pass.
Alshon Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
And he's hurt.
alive. Yep. And he decides he doesn't want to play football anymore and goes to the bench.
No, just popped into the noodle. I'm studying machine. What can I expect? Medicine. What can I expect? And not added. Silly autocorrect. I'm confused. Anywho.
Just those sleepless nights studying.
Mike Evans.
Does studying medicine mean just snorting cocaine in a basement?
I'd like to hold off.
It could go either way. Let's hold off judgment. All right, hey, potato.
Mike Evans, 3 for 50 for two touchdowns, 9 targets, only 3 catches. That's not
3
ideal.
catches, but he made them count.
Yep. Taysom Hill, 19 points. How
many catches did AJ Brown have on his giant day?
I don't know. I'd have to go back
He's
so
one.
far.
He just keeps getting into the end zone. And I'm like, man, he can't keep this up. Like, there's got to be some regression, and he just keeps getting into the end zone.
No, he's good. 6 targets, 4 catches.
Yeah, like that's what concerns me.
No, I prefer not. Okay. I prefer pot. There you go. I just can't read it all tonight either. Alrighty. Glennon.
A discerning
I just
gentleman.
Skip over Glennon.
That's pretty neat.
Glennon, yeah, he was there and he did well. And if you're in a pinch and you're desperate
Right.
for a quarterback, you can probably grab him off the waiver.
Terry McLaurin, 7 for 92 on 9 targets.
I watched that game because it was on, the Thanksgiving game. And
Right.
Terry is the only guy they want to throw it to. They're not targeting any other wide receiver. It was just Terry and Antonio Gibson and nobody else. Like, I just glance at somebody else.
No, don't.
I prefer not.
Because that's how good they are.
All right.
Naeem Hines had an okay day.
Yeah.
29 yards rushing, but 8 catches for 66 yards. Eno Smith had a touchdown, 65 yards rushing.
Brian Hill did not. If you fired up Brian Hill, hoping that he'd be kind of getting those points that Gurley had, didn't come to fruition. I don't know if you hold on to him.
Yeah.
I don't know. You could, if you want to drop Brian Hill, I get it. If you want to hold him, I get it too.
Yeah. Adrian Peterson, 55 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. I dropped him, but I'm not picking him back up.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Here
Just
we go.
leaving it alone.
It's a trap.
Exactly.
Don't do it.
Tyler
Lockett get a catch? All right.
He did. I need him to get a touchdown.
So we talked about it earlier. If you missed it, I need Tyler Lockett to get, just a handful of points to put me over in one of my leagues. It's probably the closest contested game that I've had when we did a Monday night show. So
Okay.
let me check. I'll give you the update. So I am down 2 points now after that Lockett reception. If I can end the game today, ahead of the other guy. He doesn't have any players left. He's got Bobby Wagner going right now, the linebacker in an IDP. Bobby Wagner is a stud for the Seahawks. He actually put the team on his back one year and I think won me the championship in this league last year. Didn't get him this year, but I like Bobby Wagner. He's a good player.
DK being sneaky with 5 catches already. Yeah, there was
Sneaky
almost
DK.
back-to-back. Just kept going to him. Okay, let's go through little stinkers. I'm going to go through them as I see them here.
Derek Carr, horrible car crash, flames.
Derek Carr, probably the worst.
It couldn't have been any worse unless you were a wide receiver playing quarterback for the first time.
Darren Waller, only 6 points. Not a great week from Waller. I'm trying to find a better list here. Really need a Lockett touchdown here, so let's see if that happens.
Let's do it.
Dalton Schultz, 7 points. Zeke Elliott, like you mentioned, 2.9 points in our PPR format.
Oh, Zeke.
So what are you going
to do? Drop him. Drop him now. No.
Don't drop
Here's
Zeke.
what you do. Zeke, I believe he has a tough matchup and then like a medium matchup. If he plays well in a tough matchup coming up this next week,
right,
then I think I'm ready to get hurt again. I fire him up in that next week matchup. But no, Zeke is not a guy you can depend on. I think you got to play the matchups more now. And he's definitely, if he's got a tough matchup, I'm sitting Zeke because he has proven that he's not what he has been in the past. Their offensive line is busted up.
Giovanni Bernard, 6.9 points, only 32 yards rushing.
Drop Gio.
You're going to drop him?
I dropped him, yep. He had a good matchup, didn't produce. He was coming off a weird concussion thing. There are other options that I'd rather pick up to see how they do, especially with all these running backs being out.
Right.
So I got rid of Gio.
Metcalf could have just gotten in there to the end zone.
Just let Lockett do it.
I guess that's fine. Yeah, but they're on the 1. They're going to give Carson the ball.
Carson's
Don't
good.
do
We got
it.
Carson on our team. So we got our joint league.
man.
Nick hates Chris Carson, but Chris Carson's good.
James White. Can you trust James White now?
I think you can. I think you can trust James White, especially with Rex Burkhead being
Back-to-back
out.
weeks with 14
We
points.
kind of highlighted why he would be good without Rex and how it would help his stats, and it came to fruition. So I think that same narrative rings true next week.
Okay. Mike Williams only 7 points.
Mike Williams is not, again, Herbert, he likes Austin Eckler now, and he likes Keenan Allen, and he wants to throw it to them for, what was it, a combined 26 pass attempts went to those two guys?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
So it just doesn't leave a lot of meat on the bone for Mike Williams. Mike Williams is always kind of a guy that could get a touchdown. You can roll him out if you're desperate. I think he's a good depth piece to have on your bench.
Cooper Kupp, 6 points.
Cooper Kupp has not had a great year.
I mean, he just had a great game last
He
week.
did, but overall he's just
11
been
for 145.
inconsistent. He hits and misses a little bit. He's hard to trust.
Here, I almost took DJ Moore as well. Or David Moore.
David.
Here's Cooper Kupp's points in PPR. 8, 13, 30, 20, 14, 4, 12, 28, 10, 32, 6. I mean, overall, still
he's
pretty
decent.
good.
He's very usable. He should be on a team. You can
This is
start
only his
him.
third week under 10 points.
It's just,
so
again, they're tough weeks when I don't know.
he's still been sneaky.
The
Okay.
consistency is weird. It's a weird
It is
consistency.
It is weird. But that offense is just strange in general.
Yeah. Like hummus, a weird consistency.
CD Lamb only needs 7 points. JD McKissick, 4 points.
McKissick's the guy I dropped. Again,
Okay.
it's just Antonio Gibson's getting the targets now. It looks like McKissick is done. He had his little stretch of getting 10 targets a game, and now it's over. Yeah, it's that whole team, offensive pieces, Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin, and nobody else.
Cam Newton.
Cam, you can play if you're desperate because he can always rush in a touchdown, I guess. But he
Okay.
hasn't been great in a lot of games as well.
Jamison Crowder, 3 for 30.
Crowder, I had a question before the game. My brother asked me if you should play Crowder or Godwin. I said, don't get cute. Don't play Crowder. Again, he had a lot of targets at the start of the year, but that was without Brashad Perriman, without Mims. Again, just the targets speak for himself. I don't think Crowder is what he was at the start of the year.
Damian Harris, 47 yards rushing, no receptions.
Now, did Sony do anything? I didn't even pay attention to Sony's line.
I can look up
But-
his line.
I don't know. With Sony there, and now with James White getting the reception work, Damian Harris, again, he gets touchdowns vultured by Cam. I think he's a good running back. I think he's probably the most talented runner on that team, but I don't want to play him.
Sony didn't get the ball at all.
Okay, so that's interesting and worth noting.
I agree with that. Let's see if I have anybody else here. Mecole Hardman, not a whole lot.
This is the Brian Hill show, the Tyreek Hill show, and not Brian Hill. Brian Hill was not good. But yeah, so it was all day for the one good Hill that played, and yeah, nobody else got any opportunity. Actually, I think Kelsey had a pretty decent day. He had like 7 receptions for 80-some yards. He wasn't a monster day, but he was out there. He was doing better.
Still a
than
monster
most
for a
tight
tight end day.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Why did I close that?
That's all right. Pulling the chat back up. We got you.
We're fine. Everything is fine. Logan Thomas has been decent tight end considering the gross position.
Yeah, he's usable.
He's been inconsistent, but highly targeted. So it's kind of a weird spot that you don't know if you just roll him out every week.
Again, after Gibson and McLaurin, like way down on the list, probably the third option, Logan Thomas.
Yeah. All right, let's go to some waivers this week. High on our list, Kiki Kuti.
I think you can take the chance on Kiki. So here's my question with Will Fuller. Once in a while, there's weird situations where they appeal and things like that. Are you dropping him? Are you trying to hold him a little bit longer as the story develops? It sounds like it wasn't like an official statement. It was he announced it on his Instagram or something.
Okay. I would assume he would just take it now if he knows he's going to lose.
I might just wait a day or two.
He said he didn't know the substance was illegal, so that's not going to do anything.
No, that's not an excuse that flies with the NFL. No.
He's better with Alex Smith. Yeah, I agree. Let me.
It sounds like the waivers also might run a little bit later because they had to bump the game back.
That's what we're going to have to watch.
If you can wait on the waivers, I don't just straight drop Fuller quite yet, unless maybe you want to grab like a piece that's going to go in that Ravens game.
Logan Thomas, the last 3 games, 4 for 66, 2 for 6, and 4 for 20 and a touchdown. So again, 6 targets, 5, 5, 4. Still okay targets for the tight end position, but not turning him into a ton of yardage.
In that pool of tight ends that if you're trying to get a touchdown.
Right, and there's just not enough touchdowns. So he's only scored 1, 2, 3, 4 in 10 games, or 11 games. So it's just not enough to roll him out there every week. In good matchups, sure, I guess. But not super excited just yet. For the future, maybe.
Yeah.
Devontae Booker for Las Vegas.
Yeah, so the reason that people are picking him up is because there was an injury to Josh Jacobs, who it looks like it's just a sprained ankle. Sounds like Jacobs is going to go, just from what he said.
Right.
Josh Jacobs is one of the tougher guys in the NFL. I know he's played through injuries before. He played through a shoulder thing, and he gets the shots. And so I think Josh Jacobs is going to be out there. My concern is just like, can the Raiders bounce back from that garbage fire of a game? Like, I don't know what.
It was bad.
I didn't watch it. Like, we just were watching it, as they were going through on the Red Zone channel, and kept looking back at it, and it was just like the Falcons score was like boom, 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 boom. Like, and the Raiders are doing nothing. Carr, you got to think he's not going to fumble the ball 3 times a game.
Anytime your QB gets 0 points in fantasy, something atrocious happened.
Oh, it's your girlfriend.
Cam Akers, I think is worth noting here.
Yeah.
84 yards rushing and a touchdown.
Cam is a guy who we've all believed in his talent. If you were, as far as the rookies that came out, Darrell Henderson came on strong, and it kind of put him in the back seat. He's had some injury stuff. He's one guy that I am actually trying to claim in a waivers. I'm trying to pick him up. I'm also trying to pick up Alexander Madison in a couple spots because it sounds like Dalvin Cook's okay. It sounds like he's going to play, but you're seeing those little injuries in games that start to pop up, and any given week he could go down, and all of a sudden Madison could become a top guy. Although he did have a game where he was the guy and he did not play well.
Yeah, let's see. In that game, the first game of the season, he had 14 carries for 39 yards. So not great there. But again, good performance against
a huge
San Fran team that hasn't been the worst against the run.
Malcolm Brown, I think he had less than 2 points, so they're phasing out Malcolm Brown.
Right. Deebo Samuel's not rostered apparently in a lot of redraft leagues.
He's been injured, and again, that whole team's been kind of screwed up due to injuries and different things.
So if you had $100 fab budget, what are you spending on any of these guys? A lot of people have already spent most of their fab. But are you wasting a number 1 waiver priority or fab on these guys?
Of those guys, Deebo would be maybe the one if I needed a wide receiver. I think that Deebo is talented. He's good after the catch kind of guy, which is how their team's set up right now. They got their backup quarterback, Mullins in.
Right.
Deebo, maybe you throw like 10% of whatever you got, up to $10.
Tanyan
is a guy. Tanyan's a tight end I think you can play and hope that he gets a touchdown. There's a lot of tight ends that's just like you can play them and they have a decent shot at a touchdown. Had a good game. Part of the narrative that I heard was that Rodgers just holds a grudge and hates Jimmy Graham because Jimmy Graham wasn't good when he was on the team, and he just wanted to highlight and rub in Jimmy Graham's face. Jimmy also had a bad day.
Jimmy did have a
I
bad
don't know
day.
if that's true at all. I think they're reading into it a little too much, but
So I had to make a move in our Dynasty League as well. The person in first place, tied with you at 8-3 on the year, is one game ahead of myself, who is 7-4. Well, he apparently is about to lose, and the only player he's got left to start at tight end is Mark Andrews, who apparently
on the COVID
is
list,
supposed to be out.
Yeah.
The only other players you could have picked up would be the two tight ends for the Seahawks and Jimmy Grandpa last night.
Did you pick up all
So
three?
I picked all of them up.
Oh, man.
So I picked all of them
And
up.
are you going against each other, or he's just going against
he's just going against somebody else. So I picked them all up, and
hilarious and diabolical.
but I had more points than him, so this would put me in second place as long as Chris doesn't outscore me in a different matchup. So it's kind of confusing, but that's my only route to a week one or round one bye in fantasy, I think, unless one of you throws horribly next week, which is always plausible.
Just to prevent you from getting the bye, right?
That'd be the only reason.
So the top two in that league get a bye.
Okay, let's go by some projections here. Any interest in picking up Henry Ruggs, Laviska Shenault, Zach Pascal?
How many targets did Laviska get?
Let's see here.
I know he again popped up with a couple of receptions.
Laviska had 4 targets.
All right.
3 for 31.
The Warrior.
Do you see what you get when you mess with the Warriors?
It's only 7 points, but he plays against Minnesota, who has been pretty soft against opposing wide
Minnesota
receivers.
has gotten a bit better the second half of the season. I'm not running out for Laviska. If you're desperate, maybe take a shot on him. But
okay. Demir Bird, 7 targets again for Demir Bird.
Bird is a little bit more intriguing just because of the targets that he's getting.
He's only 5% rostered.
6.3 points in that last game.
Maybe not.
Probably not, but it's not a hard pass. It's like a soft pass.
I don't like the list that I'm getting here. I'm going to look for another list.
Uh-oh. So we had one that's up 26 and now up 11. The lead is dwindling. The sweat is pouring.
Oh, no.
It's that
Don't
Key
panic.
and Peele gif right now I would send you where the sweat's just pouring down his face.
Right. Okay. Greg Ward, Rodgers. It's all for tonight's game still. Frank Gore. Picking up Frank Gore?
Nope, never. No. I like Frank as a guy, as a player. I'm impressed just with his longevity, but I don't want to put him on my dynasty team or any, obviously dynasty, no, but on any team that I have.
Kyle Rudolph, 7 for 68.
Rudolph,
with no Thielen.
The red zone reindeer.
He didn't get a touchdown.
He was usable. If Irv Smith is out, I think he's again a tight end you could roll out.
Vert says I can't afford another Monday night meltdown. Nor can I. I said yesterday Frank Gore is 500 years old. Don't want him. Says Marcio.
No, that's
the
a
correct
valid
take.
point. That's a valid point.
It was versus the same guy too. Yeah, don't do that. Don't start throwing now. Kerryon Johnson, no, we're not interested. Corey Clement, no. Adrian Peterson, we said no, still correct.
Yeah, Adrian, I get it if you want to chase that game, but you got to think that Swift's going to be back, and that's the big thing against Adrian Peterson.
I agree.
Swifty, however, I am excited to start if he comes back.
The chatter is already starting the fancy chat. So who exactly are you playing against again? Let's see here. Denzel Mims.
The Mims.
Another 11 points in PPR, 8 targets, 4 for 67.
So that is another drop I tried to create was the Mimsy from South Park.
You couldn't get it?
And again, it's hard to find clean audio sometime where you can get like a good, clear, loud one without background.
Alrighty. But the last 3 weeks, 11.7, 10, and 11. It's kind of turned into that Beazles territory of mediocrity.
Talking about Mims?
Yeah.
Yeah, on the Jets, he's probably the most talented
8
wide
targets,
receiver.
7 targets, 8 targets.
Yeah, Crowder, though.
Keeper league or dynasty?
No Jets.
Definitely picking up.
Dynasty. Dynasty, I'd trade for Mims.
But keeper,
especially
I'm picking up as well.
if Lawrence is going to come in or if they're going to have a better situation if they get a different coach. I like Mims a lot, especially if you could buy him low if people aren't completely aware of kind of his talent in Dynasty.
Ruggs or Gallup?
Like Ruggs, we talked about. I think that we talked about it before the game that he was one of the guys that I thought if he was going to have a good game, it would be this one. Even in a garbage fire, I don't know. I might be just selling all the Raiders pieces right now. But
what about Gabriel Davis?
Gabriel Davis, you talked about. He is rostered in Dynasty. I did glance to the waivers to see if somebody had him, but he's shown some good talent. He's a rookie on the Bills.
I've been trying to trade for Davis for like 5 weeks in Dynasty. Oh yeah,
I'm surprised you couldn't get him.
He's on. I didn't offer a ton, so I'm not super shocked.
Okay.
What about Alan Lazard?
Lazard is good. Lazard, as far as his long-term value, that's interesting. He did have kind of a core injury.
Right.
You got to think that the Green Bay Packers are going to get some wide receivers somewhere, whether it be in free agency or the draft next year, which could push him down to kind of the third or fourth option on the team. But again, he showed good talent. He's got a good draft pedigree, good kind of measurables.
Oh yeah, Metcalf and the Steelers D. I forgot that. I mean,
so the Steelers D could be again a smash start if they if all the Ravens again. It sounds like maybe some of them are going to come back, but maybe they don't. If they're missing their quarterback though, that's got to be a downgrade.
So
for the
if that game doesn't get played, Vert, do you win automatically then as long as Metcalf doesn't outscore you? I would assume that's how it would work.
All right, Chris Carson getting some work.
First down. All right, it looks like I'm
Tuck your shirt in, Carson.
Looks like I'm comfortably gonna win in redraft now. So
congratulations, you did it. You did it.
Thank you. We have a side bet in redraft where each win,
Great success.
week to week, each win counts as a point, and if you finish in the top half of point scores each week, it's another point. So
Winning.
I'm currently leading that as I'm in first place. So I'm trying to steal that after a win next week, and then I can just collect my cash.
You know what it's called? It's called winning. It's called being a champion.
It'd be nice.
Absolutely. Always good to win.
No subs, don't think. Okay. Yeah, if there's no subs, then Steelers don't play. You'll be all right. Wilson just launched the ball. Barely
got
out
it
of
away.
bounds.
Man, let me tell you the play that made me the most angry in last night's
hear
Bears
it.
game. So Mitch Trubisky, he drops back. He starts running, realizes that he's not going to make it back to the line of scrimmage. And just like instead of throwing it away, just very easily
runs out of
bounds behind where they like.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing?
I too saw
Could
that.
you be just any dumber? He's just dumb. He's a dumb guy. That's my take. Mitch, I think he's got great physical talent, and he's just too dumb. He's too dumb to run the offense, too dumb to make good decisions. Like, what a bad choice.
Does it make you feel any better that we get to play the Lions next week?
If they win, I'll feel some better, but that was a game that
I'll
you
probably
had to
feel
win.
worse
If you were
if they
going to make
win.
an actual run at the division, you needed that one. They will get the Packers one more time at home, but that did not inspire any confidence that the Bears are going to be able to put together any kind of run. They were bad.
I want them to get embarrassed every single game they play from here on out. I mean, it's just not. There's no value in winning games at this point.
A coaching candidate, we had talked about a little bit of like who you'd like to see be the Bears coach. I think the defensive coordinator for the 49ers, if they could pull him away, I don't know his name off the top of my head, bald guy, kind of jacked. I like his energy, and again, I think he's a good coach. And the 49ers are a really well-coached team, so any piece you can get. It's just one that I'll put him on the wish list of guys that I think might be. So
Robert Saleh?
I think it might be pronounced Sally, but
It says Saleh.
Saleh? All right. So Robert Saleh. We'll throw him on the name of the list of guys that I kind of have been impressed with as far as coaches.
We didn't talk about it yesterday, but the Lions firing
Matt Patricia. Nope, don't want that. No, thank you. No, Matt Patricia. Again, he can be a defensive
obviously,
coordinator.
but
on the team.
we didn't talk about how that affects maybe fantasy football.
Could
for
promote
the Lions.
Chuck Pagano to the head coach, and then maybe get Patricia as the defensive coordinator. But
I'm just saying, do you think this helps Swift at all? Does it not really matter?
I think it
does
depends
it help
on who
Stafford?
comes in.
I mean,
so
how does this affect
who is the interim head coach? You know that even off the top of your head, but
not off the top of my head. But
I would imagine that it helps all of the talented pieces because he was just one of those coaches that doesn't seem to realize like, oh, this guy's very good, and I'm going to just run it with Adrian Peterson because I'm the smartest guy in the room. But he's not, and he made a bad choice, and I think it helps Swift. You got it. If I come in and I'm coaching that team, I'm giving Swift the ball, and he's getting more touches, getting more carries, getting more involved.
Darrell Bevel.
Okay, Bevel. So
I don't know anything about him.
I don't know a lot about him. I think he's been around the league, but
Sounds like he's players coach, and
Matt Patricia was not. I did hear, I haven't seen it all, but it just, there was like a pretty decent amount of outpouring of players being like, oh yeah, that guy sucks. Like, we're happy he's gone.
Yeah.
Which you don't usually see. It's not real professional, but sometimes you're such a jerk that just people rejoice at your firing.
All right. So I don't have a whole lot of other Week 12 recap stuff I want to talk about, but I still want to talk about another report I saw from Sleeper that some of the Ravens players are talking about just wanting to not play this game at all. Like, they're not comfortable.
You would forfeit. Like, I don't know why. Like, just because of COVID, because they just don't feel like their team's going to be
safe
good
to go out there and play.
You're probably safer out there, with the people that have.
But apparently, what happens though is it'll get escalated, and then it'll become a disagreement between the NFLPA and the Players Association. And
the Players Association already made all the kind of agreements at the start of the season. It's not like they very much laid it out that people could get COVID and we could have to move stuff. Like,
I know, but that doesn't mean they can't just change whenever they want. They could just go on strike, essentially.
That's the whole Players Union won't go on strike because of this one team.
Not the whole Players
upset.
Union, but the whole Ravens could.
They could maybe forfeit the game.
I don't know that really makes any difference. I would not want to play the game. The Steelers are probably being bullies. I agree. I think the Ravens just don't want to play the game at all, and I don't know.
Okay,
we'll see how that affects
again,
everything.
You can play or you can forfeit.
Chris Carson up the middle for a 16-yard touchdown.
All right, Chris.
So there you go.
I told you he's good. He's good.
I told you he would get some yards in the first, probably score in the first quarter, and have to be in the second quarter, and then he'll get injured before the end of the game, and then we won't know what to do next week.
60% of the time, it works.
I'm just disappointed that it wasn't a passing
Carson's good.
touchdown.
I've liked Carson. I am concerned about his long-term value in Dynasty.
I don't even like Chris. Always had. I don't like him.
I like Chris. I like Chris a lot. I've got him on 2 of my teams. Started him in both spots.
Again,
and if he can be healthy, they've got a good rest of season schedule. That's
we've
another
been saying
big
if
thing.
he can be healthy for 4 years.
He's healthy. He's healthy. He's just scored a touchdown, 16-yard touchdown
in this game. But what about in the third quarter when he leaves again?
He's got a kid sitting in last with Chris Carson.
Oh man, I tried to trade for Chris Carson so hard.
Needs to watch this show and learn how you got to get through those weeks while Chris is out, while you wait for him to come back and win you the championship.
Yeah, I don't know.
I need Tyler Lockett to catch some balls.
I need him to not catch it at all.
Tyler,
no more.
No Lockett.
Under 5.5. I need him no more than 5 catches. Let's check in for stats on this game here.
All right, I'm ready to hear some hot stats.
Hot stats. Oh man, Chris Carson. Why?
Oh, hot.
Chris Carson after the long rush, 5 for 32 and a touchdown. Carlos Hyde, 7 carries for 14 yards. So Carlos Hyde actually with 2 more carries.
Carlos,
half the yardage.
No bueno.
DK Metcalf, 7 for 118.
Sounds about right.
With 5 minutes left in the second. I knew he had some
don't like that.
Some yards, but I didn't realize it was 118 of them.
Don't like that.
Tyler Lockett, 2 for 20. So I'm liking the pace that he's at for my own selfish reasons. Chris Carson, 2 catches, 18 yards.
Miles Sanders, 0.9 points. Not a full point.
Yeah,
Miles.
That's because he's got 4 carries for 9 yards and no targets.
Wake up, Miles.
Your receiving leader for the Philadelphia Eagles is Alshon Jeffrey with 6 yards. So
the Eagles are the worst. They're just bad.
Carson's 2 of 8. The only person who threw that pass was Hurts. He has the longest pass of the night.
Should just thank the gods in heaven that they don't have fans in their stands, because the Philly fans
would rage.
It would just be a riot every game. Like, they're so bad. It's awful to watch. Oh, yeah.
It's pretty
Somebody call Miles Sanders. If you got his number, Marcy, I'm sure you do, call him and just be like, Miles, run for me, Miles.
Oh, my goodness.
I still have the story my brother brought up about Kenyon Drake, where it was like, he was just playing. He wasn't doing very well. His mom's just like, run harder. And he like started to play better.
Okay.
I think you do. You kind of get into the rhythm. Yeah, DM. Thank you very much. You get into a rhythm and you kind of get that grind. And if you ever like played football practice is not a lot of fun. Like, it sucks to do those practices. You got the helmet digging into your forehead and like. So I think once in a while it's just, hey, like, do better. So that's part of the reason that I like Rojo, is he just seemed like he's been hungry. Seems like he's been working hard. Looks like he wants to play. Keeps fumbling the ball, getting set down. And finally, it's like, I think he won Arians over. Arians seems like a curmudgeonly old guy just talking on Tom like everybody else. He's like, If you watch any Arian's like interviews where he's just like, oh, people just really think they're going to hand us the trophy because we got some names on the team.
He just does his own thing.
He's not impressed with anybody.
All right, I'm going to give you some players. You tell me if you should just straight drop
One
them,
other guy I want to bring up while I'm talking about guys who I think of like, you hear the reports kind of preseason when we're just starving for football and I'm just reading anything I can get. Benny Snell is a guy who, if James Conner is out, is another one that like sounds like he was doing a lot of work, looking good. I think that the staff likes him and have been kind of.
He looked good when Conner was out before.
The one game, and then he had a game where Conner was out and he came and he didn't do well, and it kind of like faded back into the background. But so that's a guy that I've been throwing on benches if I've got pieces that I'm dropping. Is I'm trying to get Snell. And then McFarland is the rookie that they drafted. Some people like him, and he's another one that I've thrown on just one or two spots. I want to see if these guys can come out and just kind of establish themselves. James Conner has been good for fantasy, but he hasn't been phenomenal for NFL and actual play if you've watched him. And if one of those guys can just have a great game and steal that job, they could all of a sudden be like, oh, I happen to find the starting running back for the Steelers.
Diamond in the rough.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm going to give you some names, and you tell me if you're just going to straight drop them. Conner has Rona 2. Bye. Yeah. See ya.
Yeah, and again, so we're not sure how long Conner will be out.
All right, Brian Hill.
Brian Hill, it depends on. I'm going to hold on to him and see if Gurley comes back. If Gurley comes back, then I'm definitely dropping him.
Will Fuller, safe drop.
Will Fuller, I want to just be 100% sure that it's not going to be like, oh, actually, that report was exaggerated.
Let's see here.
But I will drop him when the waivers run. Yeah.
Kalen Ballage.
Kalen Ballage has looked pretty decent. I was a big hater on Ballage when he played for Miami. Again, he just was the easiest man to tackle in the NFL. But again, you can maybe hold on to him. If he's in the IR slot and you can keep him there.
Meh, not interested. Gus Edwards.
Gus Bus. You talk about it.
I don't know. I guess if the game goes off on Wednesday, you can drop him right afterwards. Expect a huge game from Deontay against these corners the Ravens have left. Again, I'm more worried the game doesn't get played than anything.
We have been pro Deontay in our recommendations.
Deontay's very good. And he gets a ton of targets. I'd start Deontay if I had him.
Yep.
Derek Carr.
Oh, man, Derek Carr I picked up to play largely because that matchup was very good. Right. It was the best matchup you could get, and I made a mistake. Here we go.
Mozambique, yeah.
It was a Mozambique. Yeah. I picked it up. I thought I could use it. It was trash.
You could not.
I could not use it. So I am, again, I've got him in Dynasty. I'm going to hold on to him. But in a redraft league, I'm dropping him. And I'm going to go try and find somebody else.
All right. We're going to get you into halftime at least. But if you have start sit questions for this upcoming week, if you got some fancy questions,
fire them off. Anybody you want.
Or we just got general life questions. Go ahead and shoot them out here, and we'll do our best. Cam Newton.
Cam-a-lama ding dong.
Dropping, holding.
I'll drop Cam. I haven't liked Cam ever.
Jared Cook.
Jared Cook. Yeah, you can drop Jared again. The Taysom Hill show.
It's a mess.
Maybe if you get any wind that maybe Breeze is coming back, some of these guys that get dropped in the time that Taysom's out there, maybe you look at scooping back up, but nah.
Matt Breida.
How did Matt Breida do?
Not great.
Yeah,
8 for 36 and 2 catches for 17 yards and a fumble.
So he had 4.5 points. It was his show. I don't know what happened to Matt Breida because he was actually kind of good last year. It was just the scheme.
The 49ers system.
The 49ers system is much better than the Dolphins system. I'm dropping Matt Breida.
Salvin Ahmed.
If Ahmed comes back, he was better when he was playing, but I don't know much about him.
J.D. McKissick, Darius
Slayton.
McKissick.
Slayton. He should, if he was going to have a good game, this should have been the one. And again, with his quarterback going down, you don't know when Danny Dimes is coming back.
Right.
I think you can drop Slayton. Yeah.
AJ Green.
I never picked it up to drop AJ Green. 0 catches. Right.
Oh. Man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. However, the quarterback only threw for 70 yards total, I think, in the game. So.
Yep. So Nick brought up AJ Green, so he owes me an apology.
Begin today by
it's been a while.
On behalf of you.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was still in the league.
And that apology is not accepted.
Oh, man. All right. Sure. For week 13, do you like Kenny or Brandon Cooks at wide receiver 2, assuming Kenny plays? Let me look and see who they are playing.
Man, I think So here's the question: do you
Texans
get Brandon
versus the Colts? So you want
Kenny Galladay coming off of injury for the Lions
against the Bears or
No.
Texans versus the Colts?
I think I want Brandon Cooks. I'm going to hope that he just absorbs all of Will Fuller's targets and is just the number one guy.
Yeah, it's probably safer to start Cooks, but I don't know. It's hard to start Kenny Galladay. I don't know who else I'd start below.
In a better matchup, I'm going to try it, but I don't know why I want him coming off of injury with a quarterback who's injured, who's been bad.
It doesn't matter. Every time he plays, he gets 7 targets. He catches 4 of them for over 100 yards and 1 for a touchdown. So it doesn't matter.
All right. You heard it here.
He's like third on, like 2 spots behind Justin Jefferson on yards per route run as well. So still start him. I'm still taking a drink every time AJ Green is mentioned. Okay, AJ Green, AJ Green, AJ Green, AJ Green, AJ Green. So my IRs are Gaskin, Shark,
Just every
Balaj,
time
Swift.
that I
Tell me
think
what to
about
do
the
with
man,
these
I need a
bums.
drink because he's so devastatingly bad.
Gaskin, Shark, Balaj, Swift. Tell me what to do with these bums.
All right, so Gaskin
yawning.
you hold on to. If he comes back and he can be the guy, he's actually been pretty good when he's been around. He's just been hurt. Shark, the quarterback situation is a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know when Gardner's coming back. That'd be worth checking on. I think Shark's a good wide receiver.
Let's see.
The Bellagio, you can get rid of Balaj. Swift, I'm
Definitely holding
excited
Swift.
to play when I get him. Again, if they're going against the Bears, that's tough. But I think I might, again, depending on your running back situation, I might actually just roll him out against the Bears. I think that their defense is starting to quit. Again, I don't know if you saw Nagy. Being Bears fans, he had a press conference where he kind of had a little, the right way to say, like piss and vinegar, where he's like, if you don't want to, blah blah blah. And again, he's not good at like being the tough guy, but again, he was kind of calling the team out a little bit to step it up.
Wentz just
So we'll
launches
see if
the
they
ball.
respond well to that or if it is unappreciated. Because, again, I think if you're the defense and you're getting called out after just being pretty great all year and the offense doing nothing, you're like, I don't know how they're going to take it. So we'll see. I think Nagy's liked by the team. I haven't seen him give up in a game except for this last game. And it was just like, I think this might be and for a lot of Bears fans, I think this might be the straw that just breaks that camel's back. Like, thanks for trying.
I was talking to my fiance last night, Brittany. She's like, you gotta still support the team. You gotta keep watching them, and that's exactly how you don't get change. You get changed by not supporting them, not watching them, not giving them any money, and make them force change. And
Now you're all in big trouble.
I'm not gonna waste my time watching them play
the
anymore.
season again. They needed that one again, and if they had won, I think all would have been forgiven. But now it's like, nope, that was the make or break.
I actually would have been more upset if they won. Honestly.
I'd have been psyched if they won.
If they want to lose out and say, "Hey, we're gonna clean house
Classic
after the
Brit.
season," fine.
That's
Go
all
for
right.
it.
She stands by just the busted, broken things. Right?
Yep, that's why she's still with me.
There you go.
Oh man! All right, so
What is Carson like? You're going the wrong way, Carson.
that's because the ball flew over his
At
head.
least he got rid of it because Mitch would have just ran out the back of the end zone.
It might still be intentional grounding, though. I don't know if he got all the way back to the line of scrimmage. Also for flex, do you like Kareem Hunt, Deontay, or Wayne Gallman for full PPR?
Deontay,
Yeah, I'm going Deontay as well.
followed by Kareem and then Gallman. But Gallman's. I just don't like Gallman, even though he's been good.
I don't want to watch
like,
Gallman. I don't want to root for Gallman.
that's
I'm
kinda
probably
where I'm
just
at.
dropping Gallman.
I'm holding
I don't
on.
wanna
I'm
play.
probably playing him if you've been using him. He's been good, but no, I'm not. I don't know. It's just not an exciting name.
Yeah. Oh man. Alrighty. Who else is in here? Of course. Yeah. Yeah. She'll be fine.
Some things are worth waiting for.
It's all fine. It's all fine. All right. I got nothing else. What do you got?
Oh, let's see. I'm trying to think of just highlights. Again, obviously you had your giant stand-up performances that everybody's aware of, Hill and Derek Yeti. I was actually listening to a podcast where I listened to Tagliere, and he's a kind of a nerdy guy that's for fantasy pros, and he says, man, if Derrick Henry had a nickname, it would be Winter. I was like, what? Like, that is an awful nickname. Again, obviously hinting at like as it gets cold, it gets better. But like, and the footballers have Derek Yeti, and they just someone needs to write him a letter like, oh, this is how you nickname. The footballers great at nicknames. I'm gonna give them that.
Right. If anybody was saying on the
Chase
Discord,
Edmonds is a good question. I'm dropping
the
Chase
link.
Edmonds in not just
Good
straight
question.
out dropping him, but there's a couple guys I'm trying to pick up where I've put him as like the player to drop if I get this other guy. So again, if I don't get those other guys, if somebody beats me out with their waiver priority or their fab or whatever, then I'll hold on to Edmonds. But if I can get, let's say, Alexander Madison, Cam Akers, like those guys,
I'd rather have Cam
I would
Akers
drop
for sure.
him for those. Like, again, so some people just drop their guys right away. I oftentimes wait and have them set as the guy that will drop if the waivers run and I get a player.
All right, we're getting called out for bad take maybe on Wayne Gallman here. So we're going to look at his points
Give me the
here.
Gallman numbers.
So half point PPR, 14, 12, 14, 18, 16.
Those are decent usable running back numbers. If he was out there in a couple of my leagues, I'd be just clamoring to get him.
Here's your rushing numbers, 10 for 30, 12 for 44, 14 for 68, 18 for 53.
They're just likely
24 for 94.
They're likely
Or
not
24
league
94,
winning
yeah.
numbers. Like maybe if you're trying to scrape into the playoffs while you're waiting for one of your guys to come
Here's
back.
the difference. The last, 5 weeks.
If you're waiting
touchdown,
for Christian,
touchdown, 2 touchdowns, touchdown.
And he's a very
That's your difference.
a very good guy to have on your team playing if you're waiting for Christian McCaffrey to come back and you didn't get Mike Davis. Like that's the Gallman.
Right. So let's take away the touchdown points. You're looking at 8 points here, 7 points, 8 points, 11 points, 9 points.
So
If he gets a touchdown, which he has been, then you're fine. If he doesn't, you're kind of disappointed.
I stand by I'm starting Deontay Johnson and Kareem Hunt over him in that order.
Especially with now Daniel Jones being gone.
So keep faith in Jacobs. I got Jacobs. I have to keep faith in him because he's the only good
Jacobs
running back.
for sure. You just keep saying
Again, it was one bad game. He's been very consistent. He's gotten a lot of rushing volume. He's been pretty good this whole season.
That was his point totals with PPR. He's only caught in the one game he had 5 receptions, but since then 1-1-1-3. And the last one was three receptions for -3 yards. So I mean, he's getting no yardage. So.
Pay attention to the ankle for Jacobs. Hopefully, if he does miss, it's just this 1 week right before your playoffs, and you got him for the playoffs. Josh Jacobs.
Just keep starting Jacobs.
Yeah, there you go.
Easy.
If he's playing, I think you got to start him.
I need a Wentz passing touchdown here.
Has
That
Tyler
makes me feel a
Lockett
little bit
got
better.
another reception? Come on, Tyler.
They haven't had the ball. So he's just been okay. He's been getting touchdowns, and that always helps. But I just think that's probably going to stop without Daniel Jones there. Not that Daniel Jones was, super great at the quarterback spot, but at least we knew what the performance was with him being there.
The Colt's the backup for them, right? Colt McCoy. Most American name in the NFL.
Yeah.
Colt has played in the NFL before. He's been a starting quarterback. He's got experience. He's not nothing. So, again, Danny Dimes just hasn't been a world
and he's
beater.
got some rough running back matchups here to come, too.
And I think the receiving matchups are actually pretty decent. So, Sterling Shepard's been pretty usable. If you got him on a team, you can use him.
Yep, Colt McCoy. Mysterious man.
The Flugelhorn, Foghorn Leghorn.
He's droppable.
Also known as the Adult Ham in one of our leagues because it autocorrects when you try to spell his name to Adult Ham in text.
Who would have thought?
There's a fun fact for you. You can drop the Adult Ham. Drop all the Eagles except maybe Miles Sanders and maybe even Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders.
Yeah, he heard me
First
talking
down.
about him. He got Marcy's DM. Miles trying to run in there. Should have broken that one for the touchdown.
At least just throw it to him. Gooster. There you go.
Debo, I like Debo as a player. I'm concerned about his health. Wouldn't shock me if he re-injures. But
honestly, here's the thing. With Garoppolo in there, I don't like Debo. With Mullins in there, I'm fine with Debo.
Interesting.
Garoppolo just... His average target downfield is like 6 yards.
Yeah, but
per
Debo's
attempt.
a yak kind of man, so yards after the catch.
I don't know. I'm starting Kittle. Whatever running
Debo
back
is
the
built like
starting,
he's
that week,
built like
and
a house,
Nobody else.
brick house. So he's strong. He's fast.
Maybe.
Some people needed some Goddard points tonight. Zach Ertz not activated, not playing tonight. Probably come back next week.
Drop Zach Ertz.
No, again, in Dynasty, hold on to Ertz. In redraft, don't even pick Ertz back up. If you manage to throw him in an IR spot, maybe you just kind of see how he does. But the Eagles, man. No Eagles. We're
in it all for Stephon Diggs, 7 for 34 yards, or
so
39.
We have someone yelling Goddard TD. I don't know that.
Huzzah. I almost put a bet on Goddard for scoring.
I know there were some leagues out there where people were relying on the Goddard. So
let's see here. DeAndre Hopkins, 5 for 55. Not great.
He's had a couple games like that. It was interesting because Larry Fitzgerald was out. Not sure what to do with my hands.
I like how you do the actual not sure what to do with my hands motion.
Just put him down by your side.
We dropped Ertz in September. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was doing. Thank you for using some channel points. I feel like I added more channel point options in there but I don't know if they're approachable yet in price. Actually, somebody check it. I have so many channel points. All my messages are going to be highlighted now. There's a copy pasta from Twitch about that. You can.
They're just
look it up
highlighted
probably.
because you're the most important person here, Marcy.
There are some more channel point options though, right? Let's see. Yeah, VIP for 50K. IRL voice ban for 10 minutes or for 10,000. I think that's to mute one of us for a couple minutes. Then modifying emotes, but I don't know.
That's pretty neat.
There could be better ones. Let's talk later. Okay, that's fine.
Right, you hit us up in the Discord. We try and keep an eye on there.
Bambo says I'm saving for VIP.
All right. Save up that Christmas money when Grandma gives you that. Gives you those 2 quarters.
You can't pay for it, Mike. You got to watch. That's the only way to earn this.
Yeah. See, I'm still learning all the ins and outs.
However, you do get more channel points if you are a subscriber. But
that's right. See, I still got the ads on mine when I watch it back, so we can get that sweet ad revenue.
Why don't you subscribe? We'd get more revenue from that.
Because
cheap bastard.
I want to earn it when I'm the 200th follower.
Oh man! All right, Eagles don't get the extra point through. They beat it, so
get
a hydrate one so we can tell you when to drink. I'll look into it. I don't know. I'll just hydrate now.
Yep. To the top,
it's
please.
for free.
AJ Green.
AJ Green. Huzzah.
Oh
man. All right.
Dilly.
We're gonna wrap it up here. Any final thoughts? Any final questions? We got you to halftime.
Come on, Tyler.
Eagles
Tyler
still
Lockett.
suck.
Give me about 2 more catches and we should be okay here.
2 more catches I'm good with.
What an awful spike by Goddard. He just point off for that. Like the kicker couldn't kick the extra point because of that awful spike. I'm going to downgrade him in the rankings just because that spike.
Just for the
so
spike?
Bad. He needs to go over to Gronk's house and just Gronk show him how to spike it. A watermelon and a beer mug. And
Marcia says she's about to drop half of her bench tomorrow. Thanks for stopping in. Doing the request to play a sound on the soundboard. We could do a personal gift drop or
Job's done.
Audio drop for sure.
I got yours right here.
That was Bambo requesting it though. Bambo, if you had to request a drop, what would it be?
Boats and hoses a drop for us all.
We can maybe even prepare one for next time, or maybe not. Biscuits. Banjo wants the biscuits drop.
Everybody wants the biscuits drop.
Big Mama's handing out biscuits, baby.
It could be Mitch again next week. God. I got the drops. They're hot. They're hot and ready, like the biscuits that Mitch is going to be passing out all over the Lions.
Marcia want to know how your birthday was.
Birthday was good. I actually had a good birthday. The Bears was a disappointment, but I kind of saw that one coming. Yeah. But no, I had a very nice day, and yeah, got to spend it with some of the addicts. Got to hang out with the fam.
Yeah, what could be better than just hanging out with the addicts all day, right?
And the best thing that happened was we had Thanksgiving, and we didn't have a lot of leftovers, so we made another Thanksgiving meal that I've been eating yesterday and today. It was
what about second breakfast?
So happy. Second Thanksgiving it's a new family tradition.
Prepare the errands saying relax.
I got the...
You done messed up, Aaron.
You gotta get the RELAX.
I could probably get that one for you. So
all right, Bambo. We'll work on it. All
right, we take your suggestions to heart. We try to get them in there. It may take 3 months. It may take 6, but eventually,
or it may take never. We'll see. All
right.
But thanks for everybody for stopping in tonight. You can check this one out on YouTube.
Yep.
We're gonna post up on YouTube.
Are. Did you record it?
I did. Okay. If you're joining us from the YouTube worlds, join us on Twitch. We like to hang out on Twitch.
We love to have you in the chat. We got a whole bunch of friends. We got some regulars. You could become one. If you're in there watching, you just follow us on there. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Right. Banjo wants us to move into the attic instead of the basement. I don't know why. Is it better?
We're moving on up like Jefferson.
I guess. See you Sunday. We will see everybody Sunday. 12 noon CST for Fantasy Red Zone. Catch us there. See you later.